Hello and welcome to another episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Now, not the free-flowing match that some of us fans expected, but in the end, Liverpool managed to get a point and the match concluded 1-1. So let's discuss the match highlights and I'll also do the player ratings for the Liverpool team. Also, this is a call-in show, so if you're watching live and you'd like to jump on, feel free to hit the link in the description and I'll try and get you on the show after the player rating. So before the match highlights, let's discuss the lineup. So in terms of the match preview that I did the other day, in terms of predicting the sort of lineup or the shape of both teams, it was quite similar to what actually happened during this game. The only changes were, I believe I said Guardiola would start in this game, but it was Ake. And to be fair, I think that's probably the right decision from Pep Guardiola, as Ake had a fantastic game. And then from the Liverpool side, I expected Gravenberch to have started this game ahead of Curtis Jones, who ended up starting this game. But we'll discuss individual performances later on in the show. First half, opening 10 minutes, Man City had most of the possession as expected. Liverpool were playing at a steady pace, but in the 10th minute, Alisson almost gifted City with a chance after a poor goal kick that finds Foden. He controls the ball, takes a shot with his left foot straight at Alisson. Close call from Liverpool there. Alisson has had one of those days where he was making a lot of bad passes, and this is one of many, unfortunately. So around the 15th minute, Liverpool start an attack with Matip making a run, driving with the ball, lays it off to Salah on the right-hand side. He hits a cross into the 6-yard box for Nunez to head towards goal, saved by Alisson. And then literally a minute later, Nunez is through on goal, but it just couldn't get the ball out of his feet. Nice touch, or nice pass, I should say, by Szoboszlai. In those kind of moments, I feel like Nunez needs to be a bit more assertive, where he doesn't need to take 2-3 touches to get a shot. He can just take one shot and then bang, because that is his technique as well. He likes to smash the ball rather than finesse it. So in that occasion, I feel like he just needed to do one touch and then shot. But I think this is something that his game will evolve with more experience and more game time going forward. In the 19th minute, Liverpool hit City on the counter-attack. Edgy moment from Curtis Jones and Alisson, who nearly gave the ball away. Tsimikas lays the ball to Jota. He finds Szoboszlai, who runs with the ball. Nunez is trying to make a run, but he just couldn't find the space, or more or less tried to keep onside there. Szoboszlai continues his run, hits the ball with his left foot straight at the goalkeeper. So that was the end of that move. At that stage, around the sort of 20th minute, around that mark, Liverpool were picking up the pace. They were reading the game very well for me at that time, understanding when to attack or when to step up in terms of play with more tenacity. As this was the game where I feel like you can't just go all guns blazing. You have to watch what you're doing and play at a certain level. 22nd minute, Alvarez fouls Salah on the halfway line. That was a moment where Salah had the ball and there was 2 Liverpool players and 1 City defender. Could have been a fantastic counter-attack from Liverpool. Should have got booked for it, but the ref kept his cards in his pocket. 25th minute, City go on a counter-attack through Doku. Ball goes for a corner. At that stage, City were troubling the Liverpool backline, especially on their left-hand side with Goku, dribbling left, right, and centre all day. But they managed to break the deadlock, unfortunately, for Liverpool in the 26th minute. Poor miskick by Alisson, who was trying to start a counter-attack as Salah was making a run on the right-hand side. But his poor pass finds Ake, who drives with the ball, lays it off to Haaland, who controls the ball fantastically and hits the bottom corner. For a split second, I thought Matip or Alisson did enough to get some sort of contact on the ball, as the ball didn't really have a lot of pace. And I thought they might have took the sting out of the ball, but unfortunately it crept in the back of the net and 1-0 to City. At that stage, I wouldn't say it was deserved. I feel like it was quite an even game at that stage. but they had the more possession. They looked like they had the more direct chances on goal as well. So with that said, I guess it was a fair lead to take at that point. Around the 31st minute, Doku goes on a run from the left-hand side. He cuts in, hits a shot. That was deflected for a corner. One thing that I noticed during the first half was Trent wasn't really getting cooked by Doku, but there were just moments where Doku would have the ball, and I didn't really see Trent put any urgency in trying to make a tackle or put pressure on the player. You kind of just let him have the ball and do his thing. So I've wanted him to close the gap a bit more. And one thing that Doku kept on doing, especially in the first half, was he kept on cutting inside. So for me, he was pretty much a one-trick pony at that stage where he was doing the same thing over and over again. Trent needs to read that situation better and try and get him on his weaker foot, because his end product wasn't there today, to be honest with you, especially in the first half. So that's something he should have understood whilst he was up against him on one-on-one duels. 33rd minute, Nunez has a chance where he drives with the ball, has the space to hit from distance, seemed to be very hesitant in what to do. Maybe it was nerves kicking in, I don't know, because he didn't have he had a chance earlier on that he didn't convert. Chose to give it to Salah, but in the end, nothing came from that attack. 35th minute, Szoboszlai threads a through ball to Nunez, who hits the shot with his left foot, but unfortunately hits the side netting. To be fair, it wasn't the best pass from Szoboszlai. Made it very narrow for Nunez to really hit a shot on target. 40th minute, as I mentioned, I wanted Trent to get Doku on his left foot, or when he cuts in, to read that play. I think he understood the assignment as he managed to block Doku as he cut in with a dribble once again. Trent hits a pass to Salah. He hits a through ball to Nunez, but that stage he was offside, so the move was killed. And then City respond with a quick counter attack. Doku once again drives with the ball, but this time this was in the middle of the park with pace, lays it off to Alvarez, who shoots wide. So end-to-end action from both teams, and you can see the game is slowly moving up again. Around the 43rd minute, Edison hits a sweet pass with his left foot to Bernardo Silva, who sets up an attack. The ball is with Foden, who hits a long shot. Great save by Alisson. I think that was one of his only highlights of the game, as that shot was creeping in the bottom corner. So halftime, City took the lead, but I would say it's only due to a clinical finish from one of the most lethal strikers in world football. That was the difference, as Liverpool was still pretty much in the game. They weren't playing their best, but I feel like the goal or the finishing was the difference at that time. Second half, Liverpool started the game positively with Guardiola looking anxious on the sidelines. 51st minute, City had the first attack as Doku is in acres of space, dribbles past McAllister, hits a cut pass to Alvarez, but his effort goes over the bar. Jota seems to have picked up an injury at that stage, so Liverpool make two subs. Luis Diaz comes on for Jota and Gravenberch comes on for Jones. Around the hour mark, Liverpool get a corner with Tsimikas ripping the ball, finds Matip in the 6-yard box, but his header is straight at the goalkeeper. Rodri, around the 64th minute, has a crack towards goal. He's pleading with the referee, saying it was a handball, but the replay showed that it hit the backside of Gravenberch. So I say to Rodri, you should have gone to Specsavers with that one. 67th minute, City hit the back of the net from a corner kick, where Alisson was fouled by Akanji just before the finish there. VAR had a review and ruled it out. I'll be honest with you, it could have gone either way. It was probably a soft one where Akanji did make that contact on the goalkeeper, but it wasn't as blatant as it can be. I've seen those given against the keeper. In this case, I think we were very lucky, especially with Alisson having one of his poor performances this season, I have to be honest. 71st minute, Nunez has a flash shot on goal. Great save by Alisson. Nice play by Liverpool there, starting from Van Dijk. 72nd minute, Gakpo comes on for Szoboszlai. And then 75th minute, City, they were literally piling on the pressure at that stage. Have a set piece. Haaland flicks a header towards goal. Goes over the bar. Haaland, then moments later, almost makes it 2-0, but his close range shot was blocked by Alisson. And then the 79th minute, that's where the equalizer came. And it was Trent Alexander-Arnold who gets on the score sheet with a beautifully hit shot in the bottom corner. And what a goal it was. I can't lie, I was getting a bit anxious seeing Trent playing infield in the last 5-10 minutes before that goal, as Doku was getting on the ball far too many times on that left-hand side. But I guess these are the small details that make the difference, and it certainly paid off. 83rd minute, Klopp makes further changes. Elliott and Endo come on for Nunez and McAllister. So at that stage, I'm thinking Klopp is trying to play, or should I say, close up shop and take the point, which honestly, looking back now, wasn't a bad idea. But when those substitutions were made, we seemed to be on the front foot, and I feel like we had the momentum to maybe even get that winning goal. But I guess in this situation, you're happy to take that win away from City. We changed our shape slightly as well, playing more of a 4-2-3-1 with Salah up top. 94th minute, Bernardo Silva has a half volley towards goal, which was blocked by the Liverpool defense. 96th minute, Alisson picked up an injury. I think he pulled his hamstring. At that stage, he needed to play it off as we made all of our substitutions. 97th minute, City almost got the winner, but Haaland's header just misses the target from Alvarez's corner. And then 98th minute, wasn't as clear-cut, but Gravenberch dinks the ball towards Luis Diaz, who seemed to have space when he tried to head the ball behind him, but couldn't get the power, or the right power, I should say, with that ball there. He had Gakpo and Salah behind him. It wasn't a clear-cut chance, but I feel like he maybe should have done better with that header. But overall, a decent game. Neither team played to their best. I'm happy to walk away with the draw, with the point, because this point could prove to be very valuable for us in the future. City had the clearer chances on goal. Liverpool had moments, but didn't really trouble Ederson enough, in my opinion. So as it stands, table remains as it is. City are still at the top of the league, and Liverpool are second, only 1 point behind. So let me know what you guys think in terms of the match. Drop a comment, let me know. Just got a couple of comments here. One from Anfield Uncle Rods. He says, big up, bro. Big up to yourself, Uncle Rods. Thank you for tuning in and for your comment. Madison Smith says, thank you, Liverpool. Madison's an Arsenal fan. Well, you still got a job to do today, so let's see how your game ends up. So we'll do now, we'll do the player ratings. If you want to come on the show, hit the link in the description. You can just wait backstage and I'll get you on as soon as I've done my player rating. So let's begin. So let's start with Alisson. Yeah, as I said, one of his worst performances so far this season. He was absolutely shocking. I don't know if it was jet lag or what was playing a part in his performance today. He was awful. His kicking was trying to keep it PG here. Was shambolic. Just couldn't get the ball to a certain height at stages, and when he did kind of loft the ball to the other side, it was at no man's land. So kicking was absolutely shocking today, which kind of adds a bit of nervousness around the players as well, because the defenders are on their toes, a bit more anxious when the keeper's not playing simple passes correctly. So no, it didn't help with the momentum of the team, especially when you're starting your move from the goalkeeper. So no, terrible performance from him. Corner kicks as well, very questionable. Wasn't assertive as Ederson. Ederson was fantastic today in terms of his aerial ability, where he was catching the balls from corner kicks. Alisson wasn't doing that today. And then Ederson had a better game in terms of kicking as well. So yeah, his counterpart did a lot better than him. The only thing I would say on a positive light for Alisson, he made that save in the first half when Foden took that shot. That was creeping in, so that was a good save. And he also made a block with Haaland, but it was quite point blank, so it was expected for him to make that block. But he still did his job. So yeah, I would have to say a below par performance, to be brutally honest. So I'm going to give Alisson 5 out of 10. Simicast was much better today. Very, very encouraged in terms of how he performed. I've been quite critical of his performance in the last few weeks since he's been deputized due to Robertson being injured. I think his last game in the Europa League was a good game just before the international break. Actually, against Brentford, he had a good game as well. So he's definitely picking up form. It looks like he's more confident now. Today, he just had a positive outlook where I remember the Luton game, for example, he kept on going back, playing sideways passes, or just ends up passing back to Van Dijk or Alisson. As an attacking fullback, I want you to think forward, take that extra touch, lay off passes rather than doing sideways passes. He was too cautious in that game. And I felt like he was playing in that manner due to nerves. I have no idea. But he just wasn't playing to his normal standard that we've seen him play when he's come off the bench or when he's played the odd cup game here and there. But today he was very positive, made a last minute sort of challenge as well towards the end of the game, which could have ended up being a big opportunity for City. So, no, much better performance from him. I know a lot of fans were nervous to see him play. They wanted Gomez at left back. I certainly did not want Gomez at left back. I saw what he did in the other game and I wasn't impressed. So no, Simicast for me should still continue playing left back. Very good today, in my opinion. So I'll give him a 7.5. Van Dijk looking like his ultimate best, or close to his best. I won't say ultimate best because I think the Van Dijk that we saw a few years ago is the legend now. I feel like we're not going to see that sort of player now due to the injury that he had a couple of years ago. So, but no, in terms of present day, I feel like he's playing some of his best football. He's got that record now where he hasn't been dribbled past, which is always a nice thing to hear. People like to say he's got that aura. Yeah, he's got that aura about him again. Looks very confident on the ball. Doesn't look phased when oppositions are attacking him. Passing was good as well today. So no, very, very solid performance from our captain. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Matip, for me, had a decent game. I think due to our tactics, he was often found on that right-hand side, either covering Trent or whenever Trent went a bit more further up, he'd have to kind of slot into like a back three, like a right-sided back three. So I think he did relatively okay. Goku, that's the Dragon Ball Z character. Doku, got him quite a few times. Even on the other end, I think he had the ball and it was Haaland and Doku just nudged him out of the way like he was some little kid. So he had moments where one-on-one he wasn't the best, but I feel generally he was really good. Defensively, did his job. I think that he made a couple clearances as well. That one moment in the first half where he drove the ball, that's what we're used to seeing Matip doing, especially against teams that are playing a low block at that stage. So no, I think he definitely did a good job today. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Trent Alexander-Arnold, for me, was very good today. I know a lot of fans will have a mixed opinion of Trent in terms of how he played because I don't think he was spectacular. But if you actually analyze how he played, he did his job very well. So let's kind of break it down. In terms of defensively, he was up against one of the best young wingers probably in world football right now, definitely in the league, who has raw pace for days. And not a lot of players have been able to cope with that kind of opposition. And I feel like Trent did really well, especially in the first half. Second half, I think Trent was looking at spaces ahead of him, so he was either going infield or a bit more further top to try and make a difference in terms of creating an attack for Liverpool. So he wasn't doing the one-on-one duels as he was in the first half. But in the first half, as I just covered the match highlights, you didn't really hear me say Trent got cooked by Doku or any of that nature because he really didn't. There were times where he might have gone past him, but you got to look at the overall picture. When he went past Trent, did anything happen? Was there an end product at the end? There wasn't. So yes, he might go past him. He's a faster player than him, so naturally he will. But it's how you recover from that one touch when they've gotten away from you. Do you fall to the ground? Do you make a foul, or do you actually get the ball, or do you just close up the space so he can't really execute anything going forward? It's more of the latter. That's what Trent did in terms of up against Doku there, and then he had the help of Szoboszlai and Matip and covering him in certain positions. But no, defensively, I thought he was solid. I don't know what you guys think. Drop a comment and let me know if you disagree. From an attacking point of view, I think it was very good as well. It was one of those games where there wasn't a lot of space, especially when he tried to play a bit more centrally, or he tried to find space. It just wasn't happening for him. So whenever he got the ball, I feel like he used the ball very well. Did a lot of long range passing, but we know he's got that in his locker, so he's more than capable of doing it. But try to help the team keep possession, even if things aren't ticking off. They're not able to do short passes or triangles amongst each other. Switch it to the other side and see what you can do. So, no, I think it was a much better performance from him today. And then the goal was just spectacular, beautifully hit, finish, bottom corner, drove into that back of the net. So yeah, very good goal. So I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. Now, in terms of McAllister, he had a bit of a difficult game, to be fair. Not down to his ability or any of that nature. It was just one of those games where there wasn't a lot of space. City were playing with a lot more advanced midfielders, so his work was certainly cut out in this fixture. But I actually feel like he was one of the better performing midfielders for Liverpool today. I thought he definitely worked hard for the team today. His passing was good. Tried to make recovering tackles as well, and was more efficient on the ball in comparison to the other two number 8s, which I'll speak about in due time. So no, I think it was a good performance from him. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. In terms of Curtis Jones, yeah, not a great performance, to be brutally honest. He had phases in the first half where good passing, made use of the ball, but I felt like, I don't know if he's still lacking match fitness or what, but the game just seemed to go past him on too many occasions. He was just tracking back or trying to run after the players, wasn't anywhere near them. So yeah, his engine wasn't there today, and wasn't very influential going forward. If you're having a bad game defensively, it must be because you're trying to do something on the offense, and it wasn't the case today. So a below par performance today, unfortunately. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. So Szoboszlai as well, I think he had a decent game. I wouldn't say he was the Szoboszlai that I've been seeing in recent weeks. First half, I feel like he was better. And then I don't think he played that much. I think he played about probably 15-20 minutes in the second half. But first half, he tried to make things happen. He tried to drive with the ball, tried to make a few through balls, especially towards Nunez. Didn't take any long shots, which, something I highlighted in my match preview. That's something he needs to really take to his advantage, because he's got that capability of scoring fantastic goals from long distance, but he's not doing it enough for me. So yeah, that's a disappointing thing. I need to see him do that more, because I feel like he will get a lot of goals, and it's just a different weapon that we have in our armory, where we don't have to play that perfect goal all the time. We can score the odd free kick or long shot. We can't be that predictable where we just play neat football all the time. Got to score variation of goals. So one of the reasons why we probably signed him for that sort of attacking sort of ability from a number 8 role. So no, I think he had a decent game. Wasn't the best in my opinion. So a slightly lower ranking than normal. I'm going to give him a 6.5. Now, up top, Jota for me, very quiet, unfortunately. And I know this is a big debate amongst Liverpool fans in terms of where is his best position. Is he great on the left? Is he a central striker? What is his best role? He can do both, which is the number one answer there. I prefer him on the left-hand side because I feel like he has a different threat. And when he cuts in, he's actually very good with his shooting going forward. But because it was up against Kyle Walker, I didn't feel like he had the confidence or courage to go one-on-one with him, which was disappointing because you still got to try and make things happen because then you're making space for your players around you as well. He didn't do that enough. Wasn't much of a goal threat today as well. So, no, a below average performance from Jota, unfortunately. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Nunez, yeah, I was expecting more. To be fair, I was expecting Gakpo to start in this one. So I was firstly surprised that he started. But in terms of his performance, he wasn't the best, to be honest with you. And it's not just, I'm not going to just highlight his finishing. I'm talking about his all-round game. Because over the last few weeks, he's really improved his link-up play. Didn't really show that side of his game that much in this game. Had a couple half chances. Good thing about Nunez, he always tries to create as many scoring opportunities for himself. Doesn't matter what happened previously, he'll keep going in again, which is a great mentality to have. But it just wasn't his day. A couple moments where he was running the ball, should have taken a shot, and then laying it off to the other player. So that's part of the game where, you know, as a central striker, you have to be greedy in some moments. And that was a time to be greedy where you can take those long shots and not worry about what the other teammates are going to say to you because you're the striker. You're supposed to get the goals for the team. So that's definitely something I feel like he needs to get accustomed to if he wants to become a top striker going forward. Because if you look at Haaland's performance, other than that finish, he wasn't really part of any build-up play. And in the second half, he had 1 or 2 snapshots as well. So that's what we're expecting from Nunez as well. End up being the difference maker, I think, between those two. Overall, okay performance. So I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. In terms of Mo Salah, yeah, he was quiet today. Wasn't involved as much as I would have liked him to have been. Had it been Guardiola, maybe he would have produced a better performance. As it's not really Guardiola's natural performance playing on that left-hand side. But with Ake, a bit frustrating in terms of his dribbles. He seemed to always run into him rather than trying to dribble past him, or sometimes go on the right-hand side, sometimes going inside. Didn't show any variation. His dribble is very predictable. So Ake kind of read that to the T. Attacking wise, as a collective, we didn't have a lot of shots on target, but I didn't feel like he was as involved as he should be. So no, a below par performance from the Egyptian King as well. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Excuse me. So that's my overall ranking for the first team players. Let me know what you think. Have I been harsh with some of them? Have I been too generous with some players? Love to hear from you guys. What I'll do is I'll add the subs and give my brief analysis of their performances as well. So we had, let's see, so we had Jones that came off. Jones came off for Gravenberch, I think it was. Gravenberch. And then you had Jota, who's injured, so it remains to be seen if it's a long-term injury. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just a precaution of him leaving the pitch. So put Luis Diaz there. Endo came on for McAllister towards the latter stages. Gakpo also came on. And then we had Harvey Elliott as well, who came on. So you could probably just swap these two around. That makes more sense. So who should we start with? Diaz came on. He wasn't as involved. I would have liked him to have been, to be fair. I was wanting him to come on quite early on as well, just because I feel like Jota was ineffective in the first half. And we kind of needed someone to challenge Kyle Walker on that left-hand side. Because no one was really going at Kyle Walker, so he had a comfortable game, in my opinion. And Diaz, for me, just didn't do enough. I mentioned that last one in the final minute where Gravenberch dinks a pass to him and he tried to head it back, but he just headed it in the air. Had it been actually behind him, he could have created a goal scoring opportunity. But I don't think he had the awareness to realize what that would have happened there. But so no, I think he had a very average performance. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Gakpo for me was much better in comparison to Diaz. He was pressing a lot more, was trying to make things happen, but in terms of productivity, didn't really create anything for us. So I'm going to give him a 6 as well out of 10. Gravenberch for me tried to make a difference when he came on. Had a better performance than Jones. Which is why I wanted Gravenberch to start in the first place. I think his ball carrying ability definitely helped create more space when he took on the midfielder and led to a few opening chances as well. So yeah, I thought he had a decent cameo today. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. And then you've got Harvey Elliott, who came on towards, I think, the last 10 minutes. Can't really give him too much of a ranking in terms of his performance. Had a good few passes, I remember, but that's about it. So I'll just give him a 6 as well. And then Endo made a few neat passes. Highlight was him probably getting booked as he fouled Doku in the middle of the park. So clamped him down. So I'll just give him a 6 out of 10 as well. So that's my overall ranking of the Liverpool team there. And as I can see, there's no callers today. That's a wrap up for today as well. So thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to Madison and Uncle Roz for your comments. Thank you for your contribution as always. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support as always, guys. In terms of upcoming shows, we'll be doing a show on Monday for FC24. And then on Tuesday, we'll be doing a Match Week 13 review as well, as there's a game on Monday night. So that's why I'm moving it on to Tuesday night. So yeah, make sure to hit that notification bell. You'll be notified of all of the upcoming shows for next week. Follow me on social as well. So you can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter or X, or you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. So didn't get the win today, but in all honesty, a point for me is a good result. So as always, guys, take care, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hope to see you all very soon. Goodbye.